Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Ain't been out here in a while. Keith again. Haven't touched this thing in months. Spent $0 lately on parts. So there's some other things I can do that I just haven't dealt with yet. And I was waiting for the right time to do it while we're in quarantine. Even though it's wonderfully beautiful outside. No one's allowed to work, so come out here and do some work. Alright, so I've already removed the turbo. I set it over there just because it was out of the way. I've been wondering about wastegate placement, where I was going to put things, where I was going to move stuff. So what I came up with was, instead of putting one over here and coming out the fender, I decided I would put them both on this side. You can see I've already drilled holes there. One there, one there. I'm going to drill those. I'm going to weld those flanges on. I only have one wastegate right now, though. Never ordered the second one. But that doesn't mean I can't get the pipes right and flanges on there set up just right. So when I actually do get the wastegates, I can weld them up and have them plumbed out. Also going to order some 1 3/4 tubing. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to kind of show you here, if I can get my hand around here. Once I get these on, and I'll weld it up, angle this out upward, gonna try to wrap it around, and maybe do a double fender exit right here with 2 wastegates. That way when I hit the chip on the 2-step, it blows flames out and looks real cool. And anytime the wastegate's open, to relieve pressure, because I don't want to run this thing at full kill all the time, it'll make a scene. So I'm gonna pull this back off. So I just got it sitting there now, and see if I can't wallow out these holes a little bit more. I also have a little bit of pipe I need to cut to try to get the flanges right. So I'll show you that next. All right, this is my wastegate exhaust flange. This is what goes on the bottom of the wastegate, on the bottom of the V-band, to attach to our holes in our exhaust pipes. So this is 2 1/4. This is 2 1/2. So obviously doesn't work. It's too large. So my thought process is, because I don't have any 2 1/4 inch pipe, and I can't go out to get any, and it's senseless to order anything right now on the count of we're waiting 2 1/2 weeks for anything to come, even on Amazon Prime. Prime isn't 2 days anymore. It's more like 7 or 8 days. Here anyway. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this pipe, I'm going to cut this section out, this dark section out right here, and I'm going to remove just short of 1/4 inch of material. I'm then going to put this in the vise and squeeze it together and tighten the gap up. And that should get me to almost exactly the same size as the wastegate flange. I'm going to cut this in half after I do that, or I may cut it in half before. I have 2 flanges. Then I'll work on the bevel to have this thing beveled just right, to when I put it on here, after I bevel it just right, it sits just good. Just good. I'm not sure that's a term, but I'm using it. So anyway, I have 2 of them, obviously. Going to make 2, order another wastegate. Be the first money I spent on this thing in a minute. And we'll have 1 more thing knocked out. Alright, and here's the piece I cut out. It's a flambe hot. So I'm going to give this a little squeeze here, and let's see how close we are. It may not be right, but we got to have a starting point somewhere, right? Well, guess what? I can't get the flange in there. So let's give her a slide there. That looks pretty cool, right? Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? It's almost perfect. Once I knock the edges off of that, you're going to see that that's damn near perfect. I like it. So I'm going to get the flap wheel out and knock all these edges down, make them nice and smooth. After we make it nice and smooth, we'll cut it in half so we have 2 of them. And then we'll work on the bevel. All right, So now my 2.5-inch pipe is roughly 2 1/4. Not quite, but close. Ground it down nice and flat. So now I'm going to try to cut it dead in half. And that'll give us some pieces that we can start to bevel. Or actually, you know what? I got a better idea. I think I'm going to leave it like this. And then I'm going to bevel it first and then cut it in half after. And that way it's easier to deal with when I'm trying to grind it and get the bevel just right. So I got to bevel it to match the radius of that pipe. So make us a little Sharpie mark here and then get after it. All right, beveled piece done. I marked it with a 1 here. And I put a 1 here just so I would know that this piece goes here from now on. I mean, it's a pretty dang close fit. I would be cool if I had some templates that would make a perfect bevel, but these pipes aren't perfectly round because of the way I cut them and stuff. So it may be a situation where you have to maybe, if you have a template, that's great. Turns out these were 3/4 of an inch from the tip of the pipe. So I even marked this side for the next one, 3/4 of an inch down here. And my bevel will go down to this line and arc up on the sides to these points. So I'm gonna make another one for the other exhaust pipe. Cut it in half will be good. If you're wondering why I have 2, it's pretty simple. Boost creep. With one wastegate, some guys out there with this size turbo are having overboost issues. So there's so much exhaust pressure inside the housing of the turbo that it can't escape the wastegate fast enough. So the best way to stop that is 2 wastegates. This should eliminate boost creep for the most part, and it's a little safety for an extra $100. So I think that's worth it, seeing as how I don't want to blow this motor all the time. Pretty sure I'll blow it at some point, but not all the time. So, all right, let me bevel this other side and then we'll cut it in half. Okay, so post cutting them out flat, after I beveled them, dead in half, I've got a couple tacks laid on them, as you see. They look decent. They're not perfect, but they're really close, y'all. Like, it's good enough. I think you could get away with 38mm wastegates on each one of these pipes. These are 44s that I'm using. It's a little overkill, but I think that's the smart play. You know what I mean? Better safe than sorry. So I'm going to take this back over to the Mustang, give it a little mock up here and see how it looks. All right, so there's bolted back up. I think I have plenty of room everywhere. I'm going to get the wastegate over here in a second and kind of set it up there and see if it's hitting anything. But I think we're all clear. If not, I've got a big hammer, and I'm not doing it yet because it's time for a beer break. Oh, I got a big-ass beer fridge now. Let's go. All right, finished product, welded in. I semi-ground the welds because my ratchet welds are good enough. I think I got plenty of room. It's semi-cooled down now, so I can actually touch things without having my fingers roasted off. But it'll sit something like that. Nice and clean. And the other one will be sitting right there at the same time, so they're right there together. Easy access to the springs if I want to do a spring swap. And they're also easy to take the whole wastegate off. If I just want to pull the whole thing off, set it down over here on the table and put a wastegate spring in, and put it back in. Or if I'm at the track, I'll use that ratchet ass hood right there to put wastegate springs on. I do not care. So, pretty tickled with it. Let's see what we can get into next. Alright, so as you can see here, it's going to sit pretty much like that. Angle up, just so. Come out on the back side back here. I've got the wheel turned so that I could see if it would clear, and it does. Anyway, angle about like that and come up right next to this flange, right directly toward the camera, and spit out up there in the inner fender. And then the second one is over here. Couldn't have been more close here, but it's perfect. So, spin the camera around here. Setting it up there. I mean, it is damn near spot on. Right up next to the cross member that I made before. Like, it sits perfectly up to the cross member that I made before. Doesn't hit it, but it's close. So that's going to spit out directly over here. And I'll loop the pipes around and come up right next to the other one. So it's like a dual wastegate blow-offy thingy. It'll be cool, I think. Anyway, I'm going to pull this back off and weld these up and go from there. Alright, so I don't have any more parts. So I've either got to order more parts, which costs money in the middle of a quarantine when people are getting laid off. Plus I have to wait forever on shipping. Or I could just chill and wait. So I think that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to try to gather some more cheap rinky-dink parts up maybe. I could put the blow-off valve on, but I really wanted to TIG that. Jay has a TIG that I could use. I just never done it before, so I'd have to learn, and I don't want to ruin the very first thing I learned. I do have some extra intercooler pipes I could practice on first. Might do that next time, but for now, that's going to be it. Appreciate everybody watching. Sorry for the terrible gap in videos. I'm not going to quit on this car. Y'all can kiss my ass if you think I am. Come back next time. We'll do more stuff in the wonderful cleaned out 2-car garage. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace. Never mind. I can't make decisions. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this blow-off valve. I don't have a whole lot to do right now. So I think it'd be something I can fiddle around with until I get some more parts. I'm going to get my pipes put back together. One other thing I don't have, I'll show you real quick. Alright, so this is an LS6 intake manifold, but an LS1 throttle body. Alright, LS6 obviously is drive-by-wire. And when I got this already had this on, so it's no big deal. I don't really care. But I don't have the coupler from here to the 3-inch intercooler pipe yet. Got to buy that also. But in the other videos, you'll see that I've already got the intercooler piping set up to run in and go in. That's fine. It's already done. I just don't have that coupling yet. So what I want to do is get my intercooler piping put back up here and see where I can put my blow-off valve now that I've got all this alternator bracketry figured out. And there's an issue. So I'm going to have to cut this pipe off and shorten it. Luckily, I've already built a bead roller so I can roll a new bead on that pipe, which I did in a previous video. Built these, $5 or $8 or whatever I spent. And some time on the grinder, so I'm going to pull this off, shorten it. Get this pipe to run a little closer here and line that turn up. Alright, so I cut it, haven't bead rolled it yet. Better this way. I'm clearing the alternator. Same as it was before. Obviously need to cut this, but that's fine. I don't really care about that right now. I need my coupling. And I think what I'm going to get is a coupling that 90s at the same time. I think that would be nice. I don't have another 3-inch 90 in aluminum. So, you know, when you don't have it. But I think here's a good spot for my blow-off valve. I'm going to try to mount it right here. I got radiator hose. It's got to go from here to here. And another radiator hose to fix later on my radiator from there to what will be the thermostat housing that's sitting up here right now. Like so. You know. So I'm going to get my blow-off valve parts out. I'm going to have to drill a hole, grind it smooth, all that good jazz. And then I've got those aluminum welding rods. I'm going to try that. And if it doesn't work, whatever, I can get another flange. But let's give it a shot. All right, got my hole drilled. I've smoothed it off there. I'm going to hit those burrs too, no big deal. I just haven't done it yet. And the flange was a little too tight. I think it's made for like 2.5-inch pipe, so I hit that with a grinder too. As you can see, it sits nice and flush. I'm going to get out my aluminum rods now and see if I can't weld this thing up. Best I can anyway. If it doesn't work, whatever, like I said, I can get another one. It's not the end of the world. So gotta get the torch off the truck, heat it up, see what happens. We'll be back. Alright, so got it on there. It's still hot, but as you can see, man, that thing as solid as a rock once it actually dries up and does its thing. So it works. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, if it didn't work, I would be happy to say it didn't. But these little bastards right here that I got on Amazon, Blue Demon Welding Products, BD Triple Play, whatever. It was like $10 or something. I forget. I've already talked about it in another video. So I'm going to try to grind off the little humps I put on the inside, because I put some on the inside too and got some little humps in there. I'm going to hit those with a carbide bit and kind of deburr them a little bit, and then we'll test fit everything, put the blow-off valve on, get it on the car and see how it looks. But so far, hey, that worked. All right, all done up. I've got the clamps on. That's pretty tight next to my alternator, but it's not hitting, so we're good. Room there, it's nice and straight-ish. Everything's connected, so I'm pretty tickled with it. Of course, I got to plumb everything. That's going to be one of the last things I do at the very end. Just haven't even bothered with that yet. So I got some little trim things I'm going to clean up here, and then I think we can work on getting this video uploaded. Okay, so now I'm done. So I don't have any more parts for real now. I'll get this video uploaded. Sorry it took so long. Whatever, man, it's my project. You don't need to rush these things. I've said it before. Do what you can afford at a time. If you don't have the money, don't do it. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share. Thank you guys. Here's a couple videos to catch you up. See you next time. Peace.